Thelma the Unicorn is a new animated movie on Netflix. This movie follows Thelma, a pony who dreams of being a star, a musician star, a rock star, and she unfortunately has the ability to sing. She's a great singer, but no one takes her seriously because of the way she looks. And one day, because of an accident, she ends up looking like a unicorn, and this gets her the attention she wants, as everyone loves unicorns. And through this, they hear her music and end up loving her music. And her journey follows her as she starts rejecting everything she was to become this unicorn and change so people will love and adore her. But eventually realizing that, maybe that's not the best thing for her. So that's the plot of the movie. It's essentially a basic plot. I'm sorry if that spoilers a little bit, but there's not too much to the story. Thelma is a pony who looks like a unicorn, and she becomes famous because of it. And, it's that standard trope of be careful what you wish for, because she ends up pushing everything, all the people she loves away, and changing herself to get that fame, which is the moral of the story. It's a pretty good movie. Nothing truly amazing. I think it fumbles the messaging a little bit, but it's there. It's there and it's understandable. I feel like it could have been a little bit better, especially in this day and age with social media. You have people who change their personality or act like complete different people to try to get fame or act crazy ways to be famous, because we live in this fame-obsessed culture, and I don't think they dive deeply enough into that type of stuff for this movie. So I understand it's geared towards younger audiences, but I feel like, kids can understand that type of stuff. You can have a complicated movie and kids can understand the messaging, and it helps make it more interesting instead of dumbing down the message. This is a musical as well. They don't do the best job incorporating the music into the movie. A lot of the times they just kind of sing it. The music isn't bad, but I wish it was a little bit more interesting and catchier. I do kind of like the final song for what it was, but overall it's a decent movie. Nothing super amazing. I would say an average movie. Nothing harmful, nothing fantastic. Just an average animated movie with a good message. I give it a 6 out of 10. I would recommend checking it out if you're a fan of animation, but you're not going to find anything super deep or new or inventive, which is just fine. Not every movie has to be that way. So I want to get a little bit more into spoilers. Like I said, I already kind of gave a lot of the movie away. Sorry about that if you're mad, but 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, deeper spoilers for what they are. So like I said, the movie follows Thelma and her friend Otis, and their llama friend, who I can't remember his name is, and Otis is a donkey, and they have a band together. In the beginning of the movie, they play for this star or fighting the next big star kind of competition thing, and they're rejected right away even before they're able to perform. And then after that, that's when the accident happens. This truck swerves and dumps a bunch of paint and glitter on Thelma, who had put a carrot on her head, and she looks like a unicorn, and random people just kind of show up and they're like, a unicorn, we love unicorns. And they're like, what can you do? She's like, I can sing, and she becomes famous because of that. But where things start going wrong for her, at first she's picked up by this good music producer who honestly doesn't care what she looks like, just cares about her talent and who she is. But this other bad music producer, I think his name is Vic, sees her, and the star he's representing, Nikki, I believe her name is, who's, forget what they're called, one of those fucking whales, whales with the horns, I forget what they're called, a Narwhal, who represents this singer Narwhal, which is something I like about this movie, that you have talking animals, and they're just kind of part of the world. It's not like a big deal, they're just kind of like everyone else, except animals, which is kind of interesting. But anyway, he represents this star Nikki, who's kind of falling from fame. She used to be this big top singer, but she's slowly going down the charts. So he sees Thelma and he decides that he's going to represent her, and he starts pushing her band away and kind of isolating her and giving her these choices of changing who she is so she fame. So he makes her, you know, like I said, get rid of her band. He makes her have this pretend relationship with this YouTube star who's a horse. It was like this weird gimmick where he almost throws up or something like that. It's kind of weird, and I don't really get it. But yeah, so she essentially starts changing who she is and giving everything up. But eventually she's forced to change, which is again something I kind of didn't like. She kind of doesn't learn to change on her own until later. Excuse me. But she's forced to change because Nikki's assistant catches her that she has a fake horn, and she blackmails essentially that she needs to give up singing, or she'll tell everyone in the world that she's a unicorn. Well, she tells her that I'll just disappear. Don't put that video out into the world and, you know, show everyone that I'm a fake liar, because even though I'm fake, my, you know, unicorn personality matters to people. But she ends up going back into a pony, but eventually she realizes that she should be proud of who she is and accept herself. In a clunky way, she's talking to this truck driver who is just like, oh, I have this fiance who I love, but she doesn't know the secret about me. I'm a clog dancer or something like that. She's like, you should accept you for who you are. If she doesn't love you for who you are, then, you know, just leave it be. It wasn't meant to be. So she realizes the same thing about herself. You know, I should accept myself as a pony for who I am, instead of changing myself for people to accept and love me. And if they don't love me for who I am, it doesn't matter. So she makes up with her band and Otis, and then they decide to go to this big concert, which to me didn't make a lot of sense. I feel like they could have just gone on the internet, which is a big part of this movie. That's how she became famous. She became viral. But they decide to go to this big concert to reveal her secret. So they go there, and she reveals herself. You know, she dresses up as a pony again. She reveals herself. But hey, you know, I'm Thelma. I'm just a regular pony. You know, I changed myself because I felt people wouldn't accept me. And then she sings this song that she had been mentioning throughout the movie, that she's been trying to write for a while, that expresses her feelings and emotions, which I think is a pretty good song. And so all the audience, of course, accept her, and, you know, she accepts herself. And the movie ends with her just going back with the other lady, music producer, who liked her for who she was. And it ends kind of in a joke where the truck driver crashes again, or smashes into a thing and drops a bunch of feathers and paints on top of her donkey friend Otis, who ends up looking like a Pegasus, and it ends on that joke. So, like I said, it's a pretty good movie. I don't think it's perfect. I think the messaging, the way she figures out the messaging, is a little clunky, and her going to the theater to reveal herself is also just, I think, unnecessary. I know they do it to ramp up the drama, but it didn't feel like they had to go there to do that. They could have done it anywhere else, or even done it on video or whatever. But it's a movie, so I understand. But just, to me, it kind of bugged me. I feel like they could have found a better reason to go there to reveal herself. I also feel like the main villain is... They act like the main villain is Nikki, the pop star that Thelma was replaced, the know-all. But really, she's also a victim. Her, you know, manager just kind of kicked her to the side and was just like, you're nobody, you don't freaking matter anymore. But she's redeemed at the end, which is good. And Vic, I feel like, doesn't get his comeuppance, but he kind of does a little bit in the end. But anyway, that's the basis of the movie. Like I said, it's nothing overly complicated. It's a basic good movie. What did I say? 6 out of 10? Average. Just an average movie, nothing harmful, but it is enjoyable. You can see that people did put their best efforts into it, that voice acting is good. I think a lot of the music is pretty good and decent. The animation is good. But rarely you see a really badly animated movie these days, unless it's like direct to video or some cheap project. But overall, like I said, it's a decent movie. And like I said, if you're a fan of animation, check it out. Or if you love unicorns, definitely go check it out. But it has a good message. It's a decent movie. 6 out of 10. If you watched it, what do you think? Did you love it? Did you hate it? You know, just didn't check it out because it didn't seem too interesting. You're not watching this video if that's the case. Anyway, thank you for watching. Like and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace out.